Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Now today I'm going to be reviewing the Survivor Series Elite Alicia Fox, released in 2019, based on her 2017 appearance where she was Raw Women's Captain. Now, it's by far the best release of Alicia Fox, and even though she's not part of the WWE anymore, I'm a huge fan, so I'd love to get a closer look. Let's dive in. Now, box versus open for display on this one, I would definitely say loose. Primarily because her accessory is a hat, so you'd want to see her wearing it. Now let's get a closer look. As you can see, the Elite stands out from her other releases. I am missing one of her basics, but it's probably the worst, so not a whole lot I left out for comparison's sake. I feel like the blue basic is a decent one, with the best definitely being the Foxhead one that stands out among most basics due to the molded included pieces and the removable hood. It's pretty awesome, but this Elite release definitely showcases her personality a lot more. Now let's get a closer look to her, but first I'm going to show you how that hood comes off. And here's a closer look at the detail. And remember, this is a basic, so this was definitely a huge step. Visually, this figure looks great on display. However, on an up-close look, there are some shortcuts of detail that is pretty disappointing to see. First things first, the dreaded painted over top. This is something that Mattel has done on a lot of women's figures, where they just paint the shirt on top of a formerly used pretty generic design for a women's sports bra underneath. And it really inhibits the ability to really make you believe that they're wearing a shirt on top. It kind of goes along with the shirt scheme where they paint the shirt on and you can still see the belly button. It kind of takes you out of the element here. But something I do like about this figure is if you can see from a side view, they do a really nice detail of painting on a fishnet type design. And it's also got a nice little red line going down the side, which is definitely a smart detail. Now, as far as her shorts go, they could be a little more shinier considering they were sequined in the pay-per-view, but they do a good job with the paint design, especially the silver. Now on to another negative, this little thigh design here. It doesn't match up quite well. Try to get a better image here. As you can see, it kind of overlaps. It's a pretty small little detail, but at the same time, it's noticeable if you get a closer look. Now, the knee sleeves or pads, the kick pads and the boots, have very nice intricate details on it. You can see the black addition on there, really giving the appearance that she's wearing those maroon kick pads for real, which is pretty good. Now, as you can see, it's not perfect, but it still looks okay. So that being said, let's get a closer look on what makes this figure special. This is a very accurate TrueFX face scan, which resembles Alicia very well, even down to the cocky smirk. What really makes her stand out in this figure is her hair. As you can see, it starts dark and fades into a blondish brown, which is definitely a nice detail. It's also a very nice little molded design. Now on to her accessories, or accessory I should say. It's her entrance hat she wore in her Survivor Series appearance. And as you can see, it's very smart and molded and painted with great detail. You can see the birds on the front, and if you turn it around, you can even see the little foxtail. So the hat does a great job of representing the charisma that she brings and brought to her team in that Survivor Series 2017. However, the one thing I would have to say is I would have loved to see her with her entrance jacket she wore. I thought it would have really been a good addition to her entrance attire, and on top of that, it would have covered up that chest paint job a little bit that bothers me. But the hat is definitely smart, and it definitely works for her and shows off her personality well. So it's not a deal breaker for me. Now, as far as availability goes, she's one of the easier women's elites you can get, also one of the least expensive. I found her on Amazon for about $12.95 if you have Prime, and my eBay report has her around $15 boxed and loose even less than that. So honestly, if you're a women's elite collector, then this is definitely the right figure for you, especially for the price point and the easy availability. Overall, I give this figure a 6 out of 10. Now, it is the best Alicia Fox figure available. However, the paint sloppiness and the missteps that Mattel took kind of took it down a couple notches. However, I'm really going to miss Alicia Fox in the WWE. Her charisma, her in-ring ability, and her promos were a lot of fun. I think she contributed a lot. However, unfortunately, her time was cut short by some beyond-the-ring type issues. But hopefully she finds help for them, solves them, and she still contributes to women wrestling because she has a lot to offer. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Hit like and subscribe to join the community and become a resident. I look to do about 3 or 4 reviews weekly, and I actually have some very special reviews coming this week. Some off-the-record, off-brand type things, and also a fresh from Ringside Collectibles, very new women's figure. I'll see you then.